Hey guys, Buffalo Game back today, bringing another video for our favorite weapon series for our Warzone weapons. Today we're going to cover a new build that I haven't used before in Warzone for the Oden, turning it into a legitimate Ash 12.7mm. Now, if you're not familiar with that weapon, I'll show you pictures on screen here after we build it, but it's a Russian battle rifle dedicated and designed specifically for the FSB for TsKIB urban operations. So this fires a large caliber 12.7mm in real life, and obviously it's named in-game the Oden. So with these attachments, we're going to turn it into a true Ash 12.7 and use it in Warzone and see how it handles. I'll walk you through the win itself, and then we'll talk about just some struggles in Warzone as of late here in Season 4. So let's go ahead, back out, and we'll jump right into it. Here's the final design for the Ash 12.7 or the Oden build that we'll be using here. Very tactical, nice setup here. So first off, let's back out. I will go ahead and show you the blueprint I'm using for this. So there's a couple different blueprints that have this particular look. We're going to be using the Black Asp blueprint here. So you can see here this blueprint. I believe this was unlocked in the Season 3 battle stream, if I'm correct there. And you can see the major differences there. We have a whole different handguard on the weapon. It looks really nice overall. So we'll go ahead and back out there, and we'll go into our weapon. Now, first off, we'll just strip this down to base. So there's the base Black Asp blueprint here for the Oden. And we're going to turn this again into the Ash 12.7. So first off, what we're going to want to do with this weapon is, for the barrel sizes on this weapon, we're going to go ahead and want to use the shortest barrel you have. So the Oden Factory 420mm barrel on this weapon. This is going to assist with the ADS speed as well as the movement speed. The cons here are going to be the bullet velocity and the recoil control for this weapon. So we'll go ahead and select that. Now, secondly, we're going to put on the Colossal Suppressor. So this is going to be a big buff for this one. It's going to help out with the sound suppression, damage range, recoil control. The cons being the ADS speed, which we're going to make up for elsewhere, or at least mitigate it best we can. And the cons here being the aim walking steadiness. So we'll go ahead and put that on. Now, with that short barrel on here, we're helping the ADS speed. So it's a third attachment. We're going to go ahead and put on the tack laser. So this is going to make this a pretty snappy weapon. This is going to assist with the ADS speed, aim stability, and the aim walking steadiness. And the only cons, obviously, the laser is visible when you're ADSing. So you just want to be careful about that. Now for the optic, we're going to stay true to a Russian build here, and we're going to run the Viper or the Cobra red dot sight as it's known in real life. So this is going to give us just precision red dot sight, nothing special. A little bit of cons here for the ADS speed, just because we're adding a little bit of extra weight to that top Picatinny on top of the carrying handle. So I'm going to use the Black Asp blueprint for this particular Viper or Cobra sight. Give it a nice black finish to the optic itself. We'll skip out on the stock, perk, and all these other attachments. We're just going to run, because this is such a large caliber weapon, that 12.7, it's a 50 caliber round. We're going to want that Merc foregrip, give us the best recoil control for that vertical muzzle climb we can get. So the Merc foregrip is actually better than the Ranger foregrip for recoil control as of late. So we're going to get the pros here being recoil control and hip fire accuracy, which, believe it or not, this weapon is pretty good up close for hip fire accuracy. The cons here being the aim walking movement speed and the ADS speed, which we've mitigated heavily elsewhere, so it's really not going to affect us that much. And this is the final design for the Oden build we're using, or the Ash 12.7mm. Again, this is a large 50 caliber rifle, battle rifle, developed by and for the FSB for urban combat CQC operations. So you can see this weapon here. That big suppressor is the real life suppressor that you can equip on this thing. I'll show you the picture there on screen. Really nice tactical build on this weapon. If I go ahead and back out, you can just see what the camouflages would look like on this, right? I think you can have some pretty nice looking camouflages on here. It looks like a nice Spetsnaz desert, and then you have something like a Spetsnaz fall here for the canopy, etc. But we're going to just leave it standard black finish there with that grayish handguard. I think looks really nice on this weapon. Going to leave the base reticle as well. That's the final design for the Ash 12.7. Let's go ahead now and back out, and we'll jump into the gameplay, and I'll walk you through this win. Okay, now that we're in the gameplay here, you'll see I'm just dropping over here by dam here. This nice building here. We have a couple good objects here for cover and then good loot in this area. I really like to drop here. Gonna go ahead and get that recon flag and just start looting around here. Try and get enough money for a loadout. So just the beginning part of this game is pretty self-explanatory. I'll start walking through once we get the loadouts and everything like that. But you'll see here I just heard a door, so there is a guy above me, so you can watch how I handle this engagement. But so at this point today, I think I did put a tweet out earlier today, and I actually added a couple people like Exclusive Ace, Spiro, some of the guys that I really enjoy watching, Drifter, Westy, and some others. And Spears and Exclusive Ace were cool enough to answer back. Basically, what I asked is if anybody had been having fun lately in Warzone. It seems as if the end of Season 3 and the beginning of Season 4, something happened, whether it's skill-based matchmaking or whatever the case may be. It just seems like I'm having a lot more trouble, specifically in solos and duos, to be getting my loadout and having good type of games. They seem to be very rare to come by these days. For some reason, I'm not quite sure. You know, it could be skill-based matchmaking, but the point is basically a lot of the big YouTubers that I watch that are much bigger than myself are making videos saying the same exact thing. So it's a little weird, and you know, Exclusive Ace and Spiros answered me, and it seems like they were both having quite a bit of trouble as well. I'm not sure what's going on the back end, or if, I mean, obviously there's some skill-based matchmaking. I'm not a great player. My KD did go up over 1.5. I was about a 1.56, and after that I started having a lot of trouble, and it's come down a little bit since just because I've been in such hard lobbies. But here you can see at this point, what I'm going to do is I have my loadout finally at this point. So this is the first time I actually touched it in 4 games. I've been playing about 40 minutes at this point, and I finally had a game where I got my loadout. I'm going to pick up that King contract mainly just because you get a decent amount of money with this. And I want some more money for self-res and some kill streaks there. I wanted to get like a cluster strike, etc. And I had a plan, just looking at the circle. I wanted to get myself in position at train, get some tactical high ground here to get advantage in most firefights, and see really where the circle goes after this. I do like the train roof. If you can position yourself in the right spots, it's really effective. So here, I think this contract itself for the King contract it lasted about 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes. So basically what I did is I put a trophy on that car and started driving around for that whole time. Did a couple loops around train to begin with, and then I came in here and parked. So at this point, you'll see I get a self-res, as well as I'll get a cluster strike there, which can definitely come in handy at the end. And this match itself, just a crazy finish at the end, which I'm not quite sure how I ended up winning this game. But here, what I'm going to do is just reposition that car in case for some reason I need to bail off this roof. I still have my car there with a trophy. And here you can see I can hear that guy to my left and pick him up on the trophy system. So we'll fast forward, and at this point, I'm above here, and there's 2 guys below me. So someone else pushed in on that guy, and they're fighting down there. I'm sniping at this guy over on the other roof, and I missed it. At this point, I need to reposition because the gas, I'm paying attention to the gas, it's going to push this guy out towards me. And I'm pretty sure he knew I was above him at this point. So what I want to do is reposition, especially after I just fired that sniper shot. He's definitely going to know where I was. And you can see right there, he looked right up on the roof there where that sniper shot initially came from. He didn't hear me move, and I'm able to take him out. Definitely just kind of waited for him to go out. I'm not going to push into that kind of scenario like that, and I just waited for him to come out, especially with the difficulty I've been having with firefights lately. But this Oden, or the Ash 12.7, definitely puts people down pretty quick, especially in these CQC engagements like we have it built here. This is definitely a close quarters build. And here, I saw another guy run up there with me, and you can see that fire was going on over there. So what I'm going to do is just push over. I saw him, was able to take one guy out, but I'm not sure if he killed the guy that I had initially seen pushing up to that house. So what I want to do is just reposition here and just wait a second and see what's happening. Get an idea of the circle. Hear that door open. Gonna get a couple shots on him. And again, just drop him pretty quick there with about 15 shots left, and then obviously just to clean him up. So again, we're gonna fast forward. I took that car, put a trophy on it, and I zipped across the map just based on the circle, and didn't really have the best position here. There's a sniper shooting at me from the front there. You can see that glass. He got a nice hit on me. So I have really bad cover here. I'm going to start putting plates on, then I get hit from behind. So right now I'm in a horrible situation. I'm pinned from 2 different angles. So what I need to do is reposition and get out of there. So thank God they added this train tracks here with this tunnel. I'm able to just get out of there and get on cover. Not sure how I made it out of that situation. But I definitely got pretty lucky that they both weren't looking at me when I decided to change position there. So at this point, this circle's closing in. You can see that mark on my mini-map there. There's only 3 people left at this point. That ping on my mini-map, there was guys firing up there. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this so I know what direction and whereabouts someone would have or is coming from. So at this point, my plan is to just move up. And I'm going to peek this corner. You can see this guy here coming in from the storm. So I'm able to get him in 3 shots. He must have only had about 1 or 2 plates at that point, and I'm able to take him out in just 3 bullets. Very precise tap firing. We're not full autoing at that distance because this is a CQC build. the recoil is going to be all over the place. So we definitely just want to tap fire, take our time, and line that shot up, and you can see it paid off there. So here, I have this cluster. I know that the last guy's over here somewhere. It's one of those 2 snipers that's left, based on the fire that I've heard. And you can see here, this is a tricky situation for me. He's beaming me really hard, and I don't have eyes on him. I know he's over there somewhere, but he's down that hill, and I'm not too familiar with that area behind that barrier. So you can see I'm going to reposition. He's trying to snipe at me now. Now, behind that barrier, I would have thought you can't go that far down back, but if you can see it on the minimap, you have quite a bit of leeway to go behind the barrier down that hill there before you're out of bounds. So this guy's able to reposition without me really seeing him, and watching this back a little bit, I can see very subtly where he's repositioning, just glimpses of him as he's running, but very hard to pick up, especially in game, especially when I think he's in one spot. And what I'm trying to do here is just watch to wait for him to reposition, but little do I know he's already repositioned. So here we go here. This is a pretty crazy finish. Now he's already moved over to my left behind the car. And you can see he's just beaming at me. And he must be out of ammo now. I'm out of ammo. I got really good hits on him and scared him off. Gonna down him with that C4. Try to move towards that vehicle for cover to put something between myself and him. And I'm able to get him. So luckily, I had that C4. I had both of those left. Was able to kill him. Because if I didn't have both of those C4s, he would have easily had that game. He had better position than me. But again, it was really key that I had that car between the both of us. Because a lot of his bullets missed me and hit the car. And just enough missed me to where I was able to live. Even though I was out of ammo, that Oden hit him hard enough to where he was able to back off and either reload or try and put plates in and allow me to push for that final push. So let me know down below what you guys think. This was a crazy game. Again, this is the first game I got my loadout in about, I think, 4 or 5 games. It took about 40 minutes, multiple games to get my loadout, and got the nice win with this Oden, which we converted here to the Ash 12.7mm. So let me know down below what you guys think of this weapon. Again, this is a really odd Oden build. Typically, a lot of people run the long barrel on this, but we're going to switch it up here and use this for CQC engagements. But until next time, Buckner Gaming, out.